Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a free 30-day trial at audibletrial.com/theguyslikeus. With over 180,000 titles to choose from for your phone and Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Welcome to the Guys Like Us podcast. Here are your guys, Adam and Burbs.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Guys Like Us have returned. You are so welcome. We're glad we're back to help you out here. We're on episode, I think this is number 9, Burbs, is that right?
A little 9-piece.
So number 9 in here. So let's do the housekeeping off the top. First things first, you're going to want to make sure you're following us on all the social media platforms. Really good, exciting news, Burbs. We are now officially on Facebook. We have our own Facebook page. It's the Guys Like Us podcast.
Okay.
A lot of good likes out there. Kudos to Banjo for the support on that one. Other breaking news, this just in. We also have our own Guys Like Us YouTube channel. So here's what we're going to do for you. Just because you people out there, you're pretty nice. We like some of you a lot. We are going to post web exclusives on our YouTube channel. So not only are you going to get the hour-plus content you're about to endure here today, you're going to get another, 15, 20 minutes of YouTube content that you're not going to hear on the show. You're going to want to search YouTube, Guys Like Us podcast. Check it out. Burbs actually did his hair today. I'm probably going to wear a hat later because my hair is all kinds of funky, but we're going to be on YouTube.
Okay.
Burbs, are you big? Are you excited to go on YouTube?
I'm big in the tube. I'm big out there.
But you're excited to go on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm excited to go.
What kind of content do you think our listeners can expect out there?
Good content. Really good content.
Examples, or you just want to say good content?
They're going to want to tune in, like, subscribe, notifications.
Yeah.
They're going to want to get all that so they can, see us on a weekly basis or however we're going to post.
So, well, speaking of that too, so liking, rating, reviewing. So if you're listening to us on iTunes, feel free to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and write us a review. Give us a rating. Burbs, I always forget the rating. What are we looking for?
We're looking for 5s.
Yeah.
Or better.
We need 5s or better out of the rating, so go ahead and find us on there too. And then real quick off the top, I got to give some shouts out. So when you watch this YouTube video later, if I ever figure out how to record it and edit it and actually post it, you're going to see I'm wearing a shirt. Burbs, I don't keep it down over there. You're going to see I'm wearing a shirt. It is our own official Guys Like Us merchandise. We got hooked up big time by the good folks at Stylish Words. You can find them on Instagram. We got 2 tight tri-cotton blend shirts here. First time I've ever owned a shirt with my own face on it, which is, I don't know why I haven't done that sooner, by the way.
I think we know why you haven't done it.
Okay. Not only that, here's the thing. They are also so kind. They sent us WOD bracelets.
Got mine on right now.
I got mine on too. We appear to be bracelet buddies. If you've seen that episode of Friends, that didn't end well. But we're bracelet buddies now. But I don't really care because this thing is pretty cool. And the people at Stylish Words hooked us up big time with all this stuff too. So whatever you're doing right now, just take a quick pause. We'll wait. Okay. Go onto their Instagram page, start searching some stuff. Go ahead and just buy a truckload of stuff from them. Buy their bracelets, buy some shirts, buy anything you like on there. Tell them you heard about them on the Guys Like Us show. Hey, listen, take care of the people who take care of us.
Do they have more Guys Like Us shirts available? Can people get those yet?
Well, we could work something out. If there's a demand, if there's a need,
okay,
I think we could probably get on the horn and see what options we have.
Supply and demand?
Supply and demand.
Okay.
But again, get on their page, buy a lot of stuff from them. Again, support the people who support us. They've been super cool to us. We're starting off. We're new, and they reached out, and they have been really supportive. So make sure you follow those folks, follow them on IG, and go ahead and just buy all their gear as well, because you'd be cool if you did. Speaking of IG, we're also on that too. We do a lot of good postings on there, a lot of good graphics on there. You can find us on the Guys Like Us podcast on Instagram, and that's where we do a lot of our stuff.
Real quick, can I get in here?
You're already in there.
I like to get in here. No FaceTime. Don't need it. Instagram.
Yeah, from there.
I've been pro or anti, social media.
You're not sure?
Wasn't sure.
Okay.
IG, Twitters, Facebooks. Not big in those scenes, but I've been scrolling through IG recently, last couple weeks. Shouts out to you for putting a lot of those posts up, and by a lot I mean all of them.
There we are.
Where's this been my whole life?
What do you mean? I mean, it's been around for like 10 years or so.
Part of me was just like, do I really care about, the oatmeal that Jimmy ate the other day? But then the other part of me is like, what about these dudes at the fraternities that are doing these beer and cake stands and, all these situations? Those are pretty funny.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's definitely some good scrollable content. And I'm thinking like, man, I'm obviously 10 years behind. What have I been missing out on?
Yeah. So what you're asking me here is what's IG all about? So
yeah.
I mean, I guess what have you seen lately? It sounds like you've seen some college hijinks. What else are you finding?
Some college hijinks. There's some ads that I'm liking that I'm seeing.
Okay.
Clothes. Fashion stuff, things like that.
You're big there.
There's just people doing funny stuff. Good captions, good jokes.
Are you familiar with the phrase Instagram model?
Yeah.
Have you happened upon any of that?
I've seen some stuff on there. Some stuff sitting in our feed.
Okay.
Some stuff sitting in our feed.
There's some feed on there. Okay.
There's some hungry people for the feed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, are you? Well, two questions, twofold.
Okay.
A, are you ready for Instagram? But B, is Instagram ready for you?
Yeah, I don't know if I can confidently answer either of those.
I mean, why would you? I'm only asking you.
Right.
It's only about you. So
I
why
think
would
I'm
you know?
now ready. It's taken me this long to get on board with it. Still haven't posted anything yet.
Yeah, you seem confused by the hashtags. How can I help you?
No, I'm not confused with the hashtags.
Okay.
I know how to do the hashtags.
Okay.
Like hashtag Burbs. Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make that just a full staple so that everybody knows when hashtag Burbs, they know it's guys like us.
You're doing
Burbs.
that by actually not posting and making me post?
Right.
Fair.
So the hashtags I get, that's fine. Again, I just, I'm not big in the IG scene as far as taking pictures, doing captions, the verbiage,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. I'm still learning.
Okay.
So, I could use your help on that.
I'm going to be there for you too. So I'm glad you've enjoyed your first couple weeks on Instagram. A lot of good stuff on there. A lot of good things to follow. I mean, some of my faves, I know you've enjoyed this. I think there's Frat AF.
That's pretty funny.
They're good.
They're good.
My good friends at the Chive.
Chive got some stuff.
Keep calling them Chive on.
Yep.
Those are pretty solid feeds. I think it's Fifth Year is the other one.
Fifth Year's got some enjoyable posts.
There's one the other day where a guy was sort of doing a keg and he was throwing it over his head and just clocked the guy behind him with the keg in the face.
Saw that.
I felt bad for that guy.
I laughed.
Yeah, I need to know more about why that was happening, but all right. So, again, Burbs is really excited about what he's seeing on Instagram. So you should get on our page, see all the posts we have out there. I think we post like 2 or 3 times a day, and by we again, I mean me.
Yep.
Follow
real quick,
along.
can I get in there again?
You're already in.
A little disappointed if we could revert back to last episode.
Okay.
We talked about IG followers and the disconnect we have between followers and followees.
Yeah.
We're following a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're getting the love back. So we're a couple hundred down.
Well,
like I said, I want 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Eye for an eye. And we talked about getting to a certain number. What was that number?
We wanted over 200.
Over 200. We fell a little short.
Just a tad.
Still short.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to post that photo that everybody was wanting to see.
Disappointing.
But again, you just can't reward.
Now, so, I don't want to... we did launch a Guys Like Us podcast investigation behind the scenes. You weren't involved in it because why would you be? There are some of the best investigative minds out there looking into researching whether or not you sabotaged us. That way you wouldn't release the photograph. That you started deleting guys. You started getting all kinds of tomfoolery behind the scenes.
Can I ask you something real quick?
You just did.
Would I even know how to do that?
That's where the investigations hit a bit of a cold trail.
Sure.
Is Acumen.
Yep. Wait, what guys?
So we don't. Yeah. Again, a lot of forensics are being investigated right now.
Okay.
A lot of hard drives are being pulled. You know about all that.
Yep.
But it's just coincidental that all of a sudden we were on a good streak, and then all of a sudden an embarrassing photo of you might have to launch, and all of a sudden
you'll have to. Can you go in? Like, are you able to go into the archives and see who we may have added or deleted at all? Is that how it works?
There are people investigating that. I mean, if that makes you uncomfortable, then that's on you.
No, I'm totally comfortable.
Yeah.
I couldn't be more comfortable, actually.
Yeah. No, you look like you need anything. You're good.
No, I'm good. I got this Blue Moon.
Yep.
Sitting in a nice little recliner.
Yeah. All right. Well, then, so it sounds like, if I heard this right, Burbs, you tell me if I'm wrong, you are challenging the listening public out there. You're daring them to go to Instagram and follow us. You don't think they're ready for us? You don't think they want none of this?
I think it's the term you don't know what you don't know, right? So these guys don't know about us, so they don't know about us. But we got people like C Meek, we got Jimmy Kangaroo, we got Banjo, we got a lot of people out there that are close in our inner circle. I would have thought that they would have put a little bit more, a better effort
Wow.
into getting our people right.
Okay.
And apparently that's not happening, and that's fine. But I'd just like to see a little bit more effort.
All right. So just so we can recap, what Burbs is doing here is we're trying to get more followers. So what he's doing is calling out our friends and basically saying, why aren't you getting more people to follow us? Which in turn he thinks is going to make them then go and find more people to follow us. However, the possibility exists that our friends are going to be like, hey, screw you, and actually not do that.
50-50 chance.
There we are. All right, well, then I need your help because clearly that's going to backfire. So go ahead, find us on Instagram. You'll probably see like 8, 9, 10 posts a day. 2 or 3 of them will be in some foreign language. That's Burbs. Everything else will probably be in English. So that'll be for me, so you can distinguish that from us pretty quickly.
#Burbs.
#Burbs. Get that out there, and that's how you can find us on all of the social media feeds.
Can I give you credit real quick though? That
You
last
need
one
to.
you posted, well, again, all of them that you posted,
Yeah,
but
that's
the
fair.
last one specifically that you posted when the guy was doing
Yeah.
the
The WOD.
I mean, are those considered pull-ups?
So what's the
I'm
CrossFit
big
term
in
I'm big in
on
the
that?
CrossFit. We call that a kipping pull-up.
Yeah, he's kipping something. He was kipping.
Yeah, so for those of you who haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out now. So the kipping pull-up essentially is the momentum of a swing.
Can I get in there real quick?
You're
again?
back in here.
Yeah. What are you doing there besides just flopping around?
I mean,
There's no athletic prowess there.
that's a fair question. I mean,
You mean to tell me you do that 50 times and just flopping around like a fish
Yeah.
is equivalent to doing 15 solid pull-ups?
I don't mean to tell you that. No, I think that doing a strict pull-up
Yep.
probably has more muscular
Because
benefits.
I'm strict
I know
with
you're
it.
strict with it.
Yeah.
The kipping pull-up is a staple of the CrossFit group. I don't know that I can fully articulate the benefits of it. I think that's a speed component involved.
Can I get in there real quick?
Get back here.
Can you do me a favor? You showed us how to do an X jump before.
Yeah.
Can you show us how to do the kip and pull-up?
I could try. Here's the thing. My pull-up setup there, I don't have a straight bar.
Right.
I have handles on the side.
I noticed you said you're going to try.
Yeah.
Trying to me means you're going to intentionally not do anything to make this happen.
Well, let me ask you a real question. Did you see the video?
I saw it.
And you're a pretty athletic guy?
Pretty.
So when can I expect that maybe you can do it then?
But you have the WOD station in your garage.
But I'm just explaining to you that my WOD station, the bar I have, isn't conducive to a kipping pull-up. It's not a straight across bar. It's 2 handles broken apart.
The bar's on fire?
So why don't you go get out there and Stockton Fitness and Academy, wherever
Okay.
you go,
Sure.
and go get some pull-ups in.
My
Because
pull-up
here's the thing, we have a YouTube channel now. Actually, your guy Jimmy Kangaroo
underscore.
he suggested we put monies where mouths might be, which feels a little bit bad, and we actually get a beer mile in. So we can get. I know you're concerned
Are you
about
ready for that?
you're concerned about the law and ticketing and some sort of a.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to take a 6er out there and just, we're going to need more than 6.
Well, we might have to do a relay situation. So me, you, well, maybe Jimmy Kangaroo underscore gets out there. We get somebody else.
What about Goo?
I'm not sure he's in for this, but we get some people out there. We just film a quick little lap. Maybe it's just me and you doing one lap. See who's fastest. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we know who's fastest.
That's fine. That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, what are you taking down though? Are you going butt heavies?
Whatever you bring out there. I like to stay under 6
I mean, you have to stay.
ABV.
Yeah, I mean, you have to stay 5 and above. So
Right. I'd like to stay under 6 though. Again, we've talked about Jimmy and his high
yeah,
threshold. What are these BMs coming in at?
yeah. All right. So for those of you who actually can't see this visually, which Burbs doesn't realize is not part of a podcast, but he's trying to figure out how much
6.4
ABV is on a blue moon. I think that seems excessive. Is that actually right?
That's
by the
what
way,
it says,
now I
man.
got to check Burbs' math here.
16 OZs.
I'm gonna try to filter this while we do that. It
On
is
the-
a quick little 6'4".
Thank you.
A
Totally.
little 6'4" there for Burbs. Well, maybe here's what we do. Maybe we find 2 lucky schleps out there who want to take us on. Us 2 versus those 2.
Oh, that's game
We
over.
run our laps. They run their laps. And, we put some snippets of this on our ever burgeoning YouTube channel that actually doesn't exist right now. And I can't promise will actually take off because I got to do all the editing for it. And I've never done that. Burbs doesn't do anything.
I'm still learning how to do this stuff.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, so.
Go on.
All right. Well, so let's get into here's the thing behind the scenes. We actually make a show sheet before each show. So believe it or not, and it's going to be hard to believe, we plan these out in advance mostly. And so I was up late last night banging out this show sheet and sent it out to Burbs. And he walks in here and he's like, "I'm ready to go. By the way, I got a topic. I'm not going to tell you about it." So just in the spirit of good planning, Burbs, I'm gonna let you get your unscripted topic in here that you just have to get off your chest. You have to sort of bombard me with, ambush, some might say.
Sure.
So what is this mysterious topic that you want to get off your chest? I don't have sounders yet.
Right.
So I'm not going to make these, so don't email me later and say I forgot a sounder because I don't have it.
Right.
But we would call these Burbs rants. So
I'm real chest heavy, by the way.
what do you got? What do you mean?
Up top?
I didn't say you weren't.
I'm just letting you know.
Just throw that out there. By the
Get
way,
it off my chest. Takes a while to get off.
I have a left foot. Just continue.
And Mila Kunis is not going to get the benefit of the doubt. And
Well, so there's like 9 people who like emailed or text or called or whatever and was like, I don't understand. Why won't you date Mila Kunis?
real quick, can I get in there?
Yeah.
Any hits on the email account?
We do have one, yeah.
A real person?
So as you probably heard in the beginning of the show, we have a sponsor now.
Yep.
They emailed us at that account, and that's about it.
All right, great. So that thing's taken off.
Yeah.
So I'm more looking for your opinion. You with your vast wisdom, your vast wisdom, right? I'm coming out here to the AE studios.
Yeah.
We try to time this, right? We try to get on everybody's schedule, and by everybody I mean yourself and me. Try to stay within the confines of a respectable time frame here. And your boy's driving. I'm about 10 minutes there on the freeway, the highway, the interstate, whatever our listeners out there want to call it. We got people out in Germany. Don't forget about them.
South.
Yeah. And we're hitting a little traffic patch.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, well, sure. It's about 5:30, no problem. And what I don't understand is why we're hitting this traffic patch in a specific area where I know we should not have traffic.
Okay.
So we're getting a little closer, and I see that there was an accident. Everybody was safe, for what I could tell. Accident on the opposite side of the freeway, but everybody on my side of the freeway had to stop and look. So one of two things is happening here, right? Like, does every person on my side of the freeway think that they know the person on the other side of the freeway that might have gotten a car accident? And they're like, you know what? I got to see if, Timmy's in an accident.
Okay.
So that's one.
So,
Two.
So A is I know the person.
Right.
Okay.
Like, hi, I know the person.
Okay.
And then is it B, just like, I got to stop and watch? I just got to be a rubbernecker? Like, I got to be in the know?
Stop and watch. Okay.
So, I mean, what's more likely? Am I checking to see if I know the person, or am I just checking to see what everybody else is checking?
Yeah. Well, that's a tough one to unpack. So let me just work this out on air here. I think I would tell you that most of people in society are pretty damn nosy. Would you agree with that statement?
That's fair.
We actually live in a society. We just talked about this. We live in a society where we want to take a lot of pictures, Instagram it, Facebook it.
Well, not all of us.
You and like my grandmother don't have those.
Right.
So we live in that society. And so perhaps people want to just kind of see. Here's the thing, bro. Everyone loves a good train wreck, though, right? Like, who doesn't love watching?
Not the guys on the train.
Who doesn't love? That's fair. Who doesn't love watching Britney Spears just spiral into like oblivion?
Oh, that kind of
or
train wreck.
Bolivian if you're Mike Tyson. Who doesn't?
Right.
Who doesn't love that kind of stuff? Like, so everyone likes to see something bad that happened.
Why does
Take the
everybody always want
picture.
to see something bad happen, though?
Morbid curiosity.
So your boy is a big worry wart, if you will. When it comes,
Let me get that word one more time.
you heard it. So if we're talking about your boy and flying, for instance.
Real quick, worry wart. Median age who uses that phrase 55. You taking over or under?
Oh, over.
Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
100% over. So, I mean, I'm terrified to fly.
That I've seen.
So
I've
when
seen
I go
that.
down in a plane crash, hopefully never, but if I do, is there going to be people there like, haha, look at this guy?
Well, so you assume that they're laughing at you. I don't think there's anybody laughing at
They're not
these
cheering
cars.
me on.
I think it's more they're taken back.
Taken aback?
They're that too.
Is
They're,
it taken back or taken aback? Because I've heard both.
I don't know, but I know Justin Timberlake brought "Sexy" back.
Well,
Is that in here at
A
all?
couple of us brought that back.
A couple of you. Maybe he didn't even leave for some of us, but
I mean,
neither here nor there.
neither here nor there.
Yeah, I
Real
don't
quick,
know.
let me cut you
You're
off.
back.
Yeah. Am I the bad guy or
Yes.
for not? Okay, good. Am I the bad guy for like just not caring? Like, I just want to drive. I just want to get from point A to point B. I don't really care what's happening on the sides or whatever. Everybody's safe. Nobody's,
Well,
critically.
hold on. So you know everyone's safe?
I looked. I had plenty of time to see it.
Okay.
We were stopped.
I mean, you don't know if anyone was transported out. There was no medevac before you got there.
No, they would have called me if it was an emergency. They would have like, "Burbs, we need you." They didn't call me.
Oh, that's like that.
So I'm just. Am I the bad guy for not really caring, or should I be a little bit more concerned? But part of me, again, I don't think all these people stop and are concerned. I think they're just like, hey, I got to see what's going on.
Yeah.
But really, they're just jamming us up.
You know, I had a friend in high school who firmly believed when you this was his philosophy. You passed an accident, you did the sign of a cross if you're religious,
Yep.
and you kept it moving.
Yeah.
You didn't look at it, you didn't stop, you just get a quick little sign of the cross, you know,
Yep.
one finger up, shouts to the big guy,
upstairs.
and hope everything turns out okay, but you keep it moving.
Yeah.
I think he's in the minority on that. And
Well,
I think if you're in that same camp, I think you're also in the minority. I think people are going to want to see
So, I mean, I'm driving by and I'm thinking like, man, I hope nobody got hurt. I hope nobody got killed.
Yeah.
Hope nobody's seriously injured.
all those
Obviously,
are important.
killed is
The most serious of
right,
injuries.
the most
you
serious
can
of
have.
injuries.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not like I'm thinking like, man, I really hope that they're in some trouble. I'm just thinking like, let's just keep it moving, people.
Yeah.
Am I wrong for that?
No, I think that's a human emotion where you're like, hey, this is impacting me. Things feel okay. Let's keep it moving. One might call that selfish. I don't know. Is that selfish?
I guess that's what I'm asking, right?
Yeah.
Here's what I'm thinking. If I'm driving
Yeah.
and I get a little rear end situation,
Wait, what?
what? Somebody, taps my bumper. That didn't work yet. I get an accident of some sort,
Okay.
right? Not a big deal. I'm thinking in my head, I really hope 1,000 people on the other side of the freeway aren't going to stop and look at this non-serious situation.
Well, let me
And
get
that's
in
your
here.
boy. That's your boy.
On the way to work recently, this is about a year ago. You might remember this.
Yeah.
I'm driving to work. I got rear-ended by Busch Light, right?
Yeah.
I pull off the side of the road. Ain't nobody slowing down. That thing was like, people were humming down the side of 580.
Sure.
When your boy's sitting there in Busch Lights in the back of his Nissan Sentra all jammed up.
I mean, maybe it depends on where you're at because I'm coming from, the Modesto, Stockton area.
Motown.
We're out there in the, the greater Bay Area. People got places to be, I guess. I guess the people in the Bay Area are more important.
I'm not saying. So it sounds like what you're saying is you're asking if you're selfish. Yes.
Loosely. Okay, great.
Okay.
Really? Wow.
Yes. Oh, about the accident. So
Right.
no, the accident. I mean, again, I don't know if you're selfish there. I think you're certainly.
Well, real quick, it sounds like you've got some other things.
No,
on
I'm
your
good.
mind.
It sounds like
Okay.
you're invested in your own schedule, as you should be,
Which also
'cause it's
impacts your schedule.
It does impact my schedule.
Yep.
It's your schedule, so you should be the most invested in it.
Right.
I do agree that there seems to be a lot of folks who like to stop and gaze at what's happening, and I do think we should keep it moving. I do agree with you.
Is it a fair statement to say that one should always be selfish when it comes to their own personal success?
Expand on that for me.
So if I'm not putting anybody else in danger or being a man, I should have wrote down some words to use for this.
I got nothing to help you here.
Yeah.
Bleep hole, maybe.
No.
You should use that one actually.
So if you're trying to advance yourself in your career, in your life, don't you think it'd be okay to just kind of be selfish in that regard for yourself to propel yourself up the ladder, to better your family, better your situations?
Okay.
Is that wrong of you to do
Well,
that?
so this took a hard left turn. So
We're all left,
This
baby.
is different than
We're
what
all
you.
left.
So I think.
Well, you said I was selfish, so now I gotta ask.
Well,
this.
I mean, again, I don't want to put people on like a 7-hour podcast here, but so if what you're saying is, should you always do what's best for you and your family? The answer to that question is yes.
Okay.
If your situation is, or if your opportunity is what's best for you and your family, I'm not sure I can equate that to the driving situation.
It's not apples to apples.
No, I mean there's no fruit involved as far as I know.
Good.
But look, yeah, you are not wrong in that people should not stop. That is a little.
That's what I needed.
It's a little robust.
That's what I needed. I
think
came in here
you're-
today.
I think you're right.
I was a little
But
frustrated.
how do we? So real quick, can I get this in here? So
Get it in there.
I haven't officially announced any sort of political candidacy. But if I ever run for any government office, I do have a platform I do want to share with you. I think you've heard this before,
Sure.
so act surprised. Not that you won't be. My stance would be this: if you are driving to work and you are impacted by an accident that keeps you or delays you for more than 10 minutes to getting to your arrival, the person who caused that accident owes everybody $20.
Yep.
So what you would do as a consumer,
Yep.
you would go on there and you would say, Tuesday, 10 o'clock accident. You'd find the one that's in there. You click that one. You'd put your name in there. I don't know, maybe a quick little odometer pick, quick little pick of the clock. I don't know, some sort of vetting situation. That gets routed into the government agency. And then whoever the idiot was who caused the accident owes everybody who submits a claim $20.
Yeah, loosely, I agree with you. I would just say again, you can't always control your accident. What I would say, the people that owe you the money are all.
What do you mean? Whoa, what do you mean you can't control your accident?
Could
So
you
if
control
you're-
Bush Light rear-ending
No,
you?
that's why he would owe everybody $20.
What I would say is if anybody stopped to look and rubberneck after Bush Light rear-ended you,
Yeah.
those people should be paying you.
No, again, this
'Cause
is not
maybe
just
Bush
me.
Light- again,
No, hold
I-
on. This
no,
is
I'm
you.
gonna get in there. I'm gonna
if
get
you
in
were
there.
driving and you were impacted because Bush Light hit me, and now the traffic is slowed down, you get $20 from Bush Light.
What's his name? Bush Light?
It might have been. So here's the thing. I got out of the car and I was like, "Hey, officer, is he impaired?" And then he's like, "Why'd you ask that?" And I was like, "I don't know. I mean, maybe I have eyes. I don't know if you do, but just take a look real quick."
Wow.
So he just Bush Light to me. But Bush Light would owe you $20 because he impacted your drive because he couldn't drive and ran into me.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is if Bush Light is in a 92 Nissan with blown out brakes, right?
If they are now, yeah.
Brakes are blown.
Yeah.
And he's just genuinely, maybe he would just dropped a cheeseburger on the ground at 6 a.m. in the morning and couldn't react quick enough, and he rear-ended you, or he genuinely had some Bush Lights.
Fair.
Either or. If it's a, I guess you can never really say if it's an accident, right? But if it was not,
You actually can't say it's an accident.
if it was
That's actually the
non-intentional-
literal definition
right.
of accident,
If it was non-intentional,
which is the literal definition of accident, by the way.
sure. If it was non-intentional / accident,
Yeah.
I don't know if you could jam the guy up. Maybe he tried to avoid you and he couldn't.
But he didn't.
But he
And
tried.
so, well, maybe if he didn't drop the cheeseburger or he cut it off at 9 Bush Lights, we're not in this situation. But
Do they
because
still make Bush Light?
they absolutely do. It's that commercial now where they pop the top and it goes Bush. Yeah. Sponsor us, by the way, Bush Light. I'd get at Bush.
You drinking those?
I mean, I wouldn't want to, but if they had a case free, what are you going to
One
turn it
case?
down?
I'll go buy you a case.
I'll wait right here.
Okay.
You come
Oh,
back?
look, I get what you're saying. I like where your head's at.
Yeah.
It's you're usually clear level headed guy,
Usually.
guy like you.
Well,
I'm just saying you can't necessarily blame the guy or the girl out of the gate. If again,
you could though.
Oh, well, sure, but
So hold on,
benefit
real
of the
quick.
doubt.
So you're driving here, and you're just minding your own business. You're 10 and 2. You're going the speed limit,
I'm
just
all 10
doing
and
your
2.
thing. You got your good, soft Christian rock on the radio, and the guy behind you is on his cell phone, like taking a selfie of his pants, and just rear ends your car. He doesn't owe you $20.
if that's
and
the
everybody else,
if that's the situation, I expect my twomper.
there you go.
But if Bush Light is just minding his own business
He wasn't. He clearly wasn't
and
paying
his
attention.
92 Corolla,
Get a better car.
okay, maybe he spent all his money on Bush Light.
That's his problem. Again, bad life choices lead to accidents, lead to you owing everybody $20.
If somebody came up to you and said, "Hey, I'm going to spend my life savings on beer," you would say, "Can I go in on that?" So don't act like you're all brand new.
Well,
now.
why am I buying beer for that person? If we can go half season, I get half of it, then let's talk. Call me. Hit
Point
me up.
proven.
Hit me up.
Exactly.
Hit me up. Well, listen, here's what I'm going to do. For the less than 200 people who follow us on IG, because you guys all suck,
184.
we're going to put this out there. If you would sign on for my platform and see if you would vote for me if that was my thing.
You going independent? Lil Ross Perot?
I mean, if they need me. I don't know if they need me. I listen, I'm tied down. I got 2 national podcasts.
Can I ask you something real quick?
You just did.
And we don't want to get political here,
We're about to, though.
but can you do a better job than what's going on right now?
Well, I have a lot of good ideas.
You got some ideas?
I got some ideas.
What's your one thing that you could do to change the world in a
Well,
positive
right
way?
now I think the $20 thing
Sure.
is big. So if you
Who's
cause
paying that, by the
everybody
way?
an accident-
That guy?
Yes, Bush Light would pay everybody who claimed $20.
So let's just
And
assume
if Bush Light couldn't foot the bill,
that's what I was going to ask.
then Bush Light's just jammed up. We're taking out of taxes. We're leaning the house.
Oh, wow.
Don't get in an accident. Then be a better driver. It's not difficult. It's not hard. It's not hard.
Okay.
Is it hard? Have you ever been in an accident in your life?
Yes.
Have you ever caused an accident?
No,
Why not?
because I'm a great driver.
Why? It's not hard. If you can do it,
What does that mean?
then
Okay.
that means that anybody else out there can do it.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. So that'd be my
A guy with my
platform.
driving prowess,
Yeah.
you would expect me to never be in an accident. I've been in
Exactly.
2,
Yeah.
both not my fault.
Exactly. And that person jammed you and probably others up.
There was some jamming.
And $20 is owed to everybody for their
That's
time.
all I can get out of that. That was a twomper.
I'm willing to go higher. You didn't see me. You were opposed.
What
to
about
this
the
idea.
person that got hit?
Well, they're going to get recouped for insurance purposes and all that. So that'll just
Most
take
likely.
care of itself as
but did
as
Bush
normal.
Light not owe the main person? Did he not owe him anything?
I mean, that guy can get a 20, but I mean, Bush Light's going to be paying for more stuff because of damage and tickets and
So
fines.
we should probably call AAA,
Okay.
the Geicos, the AAAs, the State Farms,
Okay.
all those major
Discount double check.
discount double check.
Okay.
All those guys, all those big league insurance companies, and be
Okay.
like, hey, look, this is our idea. What do you think? And maybe they could write that into their policies.
Here's the thing, dog. I'm going above them. I'm going straight to the governor, mayor, wherever you guys need me.
I'm gonna tell you something. Our president would probably sign up for something like this because he's an idiot.
You're
And
not
this
wrong.
is a dumb idea.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So,
Okay.
Congratulations.
Great. Well, speaking of dumb ideas, have you heard about the beer fridge in Cleveland?
I thought you were gonna say in your house.
No. Fair question though. Fair question. I am actually almost low here, but we'll worry about that.
Guy
later.
like you with your
fair,
houses.
fair question.
Yeah. I have heard about it. I know you're vaster.
Yeah.
More vast. Your depths
All
are
that is-
deeper.
all that's great.
Yeah.
So I will clue the audience in. So the Cleveland Browns did not win a football game last year, 0-16.
Yes.
And so this year, the good folks at Anheuser-Busch Bud Light,
Get at us, by the way.
they put, yes, absolutely get at us. They put a bunch of fridges around the town of Cleveland.
Real quick,
Mm-hmm.
this would be like a hashtag Anheuser-Busch situation.
Yes. And this,
Double hashtag?
If
Did
I was,
you get more for doubles?
what do you mean by that?
Like
The
hashtag,
hash,
hashtag?
No.
It just
It actually doesn't count at that point.
okay. Can
Yeah.
you bookend it like hashtag
No.
and then the word and
No
then
need to
another
bookends.
hashtag?
No need to bookends.
See, I gotta
know
get
you-
it.
yeah,
Get in.
We'll
I
get
gotta
at
in
you.
there.
That'll be actually, you know what? That'll be our YouTube exclusive is as I will explain Instagram to you.
Tutorial?
Tutorials.
Great.
We're going in. So anyway, so fridges all around the city of Cleveland. Padlocks on them though. You can't open the fridge up.
Of course.
And the deal is when Cleveland wins a game,
Okay.
these fridges will automatically open and free beer for everybody who's around until that fridge is empty.
You just popping beers on the streets,
Just
though?
popping beers. I mean, these might be in bars, post offices. I'm not sure whether they should be at the post office, by the way. All over town, right? So great idea, good marketing by Bud Light. Cleveland fans all in. Kind of funny joke. They know they suck. They're in on the joke. What are you gonna do? So they went on and played this weekend, Burbs.
Last weekend.
That's what I said. Can you, as our sports guru on here, can
Yeah.
you exclusively report the score to our audience?
21-21.
So
Which, again, if you remember what happened in our last podcast, I talked about grown men in professional sports, football specifically,
yeah,
ending in a tie.
yeah.
And what happened? We ended in a tie.
Burbs Stradamus over here. Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
So let me ask you a question really quickly.
Yep. Get in there.
Did the Browns lose?
In Burbs' book or...
By the definition of life, which is probably vaster, as you would say, than your book.
Yeah, technically, no.
So one might think that the beer fridge then flows.
I see what you're doing.
But guess what?
They didn't win.
Not so much.
So I mean, this kind of... I think we also talked about this also, like participation trophies. You don't get a wow.
That too, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't need
a
that
lot of
either.
words, a
Yeah.
lot of words. We're not giving out trophies for 33rd place.
Well, let's hold on real quick.
And we're not giving out free beer for ties.
I mean, giving
Right?
out free beer should be something that's embraced by all.
Again, when Adam Eaton 2020 runs for presidency,
Yeah.
you can promote all these types of things, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Real quick, let me go back.
Yeah.
One of the other things I would run on, I'd outlaw the 12 ouncers. Who needs them?
Did you get rid of them?
Who needs them? 16s are better.
Wow.
16s are better. What's 12s for?
Hashtag change.
I remember when I was in the 6th grade. Like, what do you need a 12 ouncer for? I don't understand.
Wow.
By the way,
Hashtag
underage
alcoholic.
drinking, I
Yeah.
don't condone, by the way.
Hashtag alcoholic.
What are you going to do? So, fridges didn't open. Browns fans were luckily okay with it, but your guy here, I got a problem with that.
Wait, so the Browns fans were okay?
I mean, I think they understood.
For the most part?
Yeah, I think there was some...
So you were more upset than they were?
yeah, I feel like false advertising.
No.
I think it was a loophole that the Browns didn't actually lose.
So real quick,
Yeah,
were there rules or regulations on this posted at all?
there might have been. I
And
didn't,
did
I
it
didn't read 'em.
specifically say...
See, I don't know if it
Ties
addressed.
don't
I don't know if
count?
it addressed ties. That's the thing. I don't think Bud Light thought of that. And
When
so,
was the last tie? Your boy McNabb.
oh, no, there's been one before that. After that, rather.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
We'll have our
I
stout.
think it was one last year.
You sure about that? Nah. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
one, NFL, change that rule. Right?
Okay.
Grown men should not be able to go home that night and say they tied.
Okay.
You either win or you lost.
Okay.
That said, if you tied, in the book of Burbs, you still lost.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, the beer fridge didn't open,
Yeah, I mean,
And,
again, it sounds like it's really upsetting you more than
and that's
the
unfortunate.
actual Browns fans.
No, that is certainly unfortunate, and I feel badly about that.
Well, here's what we'll do. We'll go open up your fridge,
Yeah,
pop a couple tops off, 16 OZs,
of course.
and get them in for the guys in Cleveland.
I mean, that's AKA what I call a Tuesday.
Sure.
So that's fine with you. Right. Actually, while we're on sports, I know you had a sports topic. You had submitted here on the show sheets. I'm surprised you actually can read these things. But B, you want to talk a little bit about? Oh, I'm sorry. What week 1 in the NFL season? If those of you followed along, there was an interesting trend that happened this first week in the NFL, Burbs, that you wanted to share with our vast listenership. I don't want to steal any more of your thunder. Why don't you just go ahead and share that with us?
My thunder's got thunder.
Yeah, of course.
So one of the things, again, shout out to IG. Where have you been? I saw a little post on there that said new coaches circa 2018 season week 1. So I believe it was 7 of them went 0-7. So none of them won a game.
So and
I know you know the coaches.
Every team that had a new coach or a coach different from last year
Yep.
lost the first game.
Correct.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Um,
Real quick before you answer,
thank you.
I've got some stuff on this.
So did you actually not really care what I thought about it and just want to tell us what you thought about it?
I mean, kind of, but go ahead. Tell me what you think.
I mean, so my quick thought is that clearly the teams changed coaches for a reason.
Okay.
They probably weren't very good last year. And so it's not surprising to learn that a team that wasn't very good last year did not win their first game this year.
Okay.
Now, what I think you might object to is some of the people who were hired as coaches. Mm-hmm. And so maybe that's the objection, that people didn't make good selections. But I am not surprised to learn that teams that didn't need their coach from last year now have a new coach and didn't win this year. And by the way, the last tie, October 30th, 2016, Redskins, Bengals. Boom for some research.
That's exactly what I thought it was.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna focus in that I can think off the top of my head on one particular coach or coaches. So that'd be 2.
Okay.
Look it up. The new Detroit Lions coach is
Matt Patricia.
The old Lions coach was
Jim Caldwell.
How long did he get? What was his tenure?
I think it was there 4 years.
Of the 4 years, how many years did he have his all-pro quarterback?
All of them.
I'm sorry?
All of them.
Andrew Luck played last year?
Okay, so let's go real quick.
Andrew Luck hasn't played since 2016.
Here we are. So Caldwell coached the Lions. Patricia coaches the Lions. Matt Stafford.
I didn't say Matt Stafford. I
You
said
said
Andrew Luck.
But we're talking about the Lions.
Good call.
Thank you.
Good call.
I'm glad someone listens to the podcast.
Both blue and white.
But still, Matthew Stafford is
who's the Colts coach? Is it
Frank,
still Caldwell?
Frank Reich.
That's the guy I want to talk about.
Okay.
Show sheets, baby.
All right.
Show sheets.
All right, let's get to that.
So, what
Yeah.
are you doing here?
Okay.
Who's the new
I'll edit
Colts
this
coach?
out. Frank Wright.
Who is the old Colts coach?
Who the heck was that? Was your guy Chuck Pagano?
No.
Yes.
And then who was it?
Prior to
Caldwell.
that was Caldwell.
All right, so Pagano or
Pagano's
Caldwell.
been like 4 years now.
Sure. How many years did Pagano?
Pagano. Yeah.
How many years did he have Andrew Luck?
Andrew Luck's been in the league. What? This is his 4th year,
This is 4th or 5th.
but he
I
only
believe.
played
Yes.
3 of those. So
Sure.
there you go.
So he's been out of his all-star, all-pro quarterback for 1 plus almost 2 years. Correct.
So Andrew Luck joined in 2012. He was the
And
first
he was
pick.
out all of 2016 for the most part, and all of last year.
I
think he played 4 games in 16,
something like that. Yeah.
give or take.
Yeah.
Due diligence here.
Yeah.
So Pagano,
Yeah.
would you say he was a above average coach or an average coach? Decent coach?
Between decent and average.
Okay. So here's my thing. My whole point of the fact that you've got 7 new NFL coaches in these establishments is, why are none of these coaches getting tenure anymore? Why are we firing them after a year or two and wondering why our team's never getting any better? So if we revert here a little bit,
Oh, we're reverting.
we're reverting.
Okay.
Look at your Niners.
My Niners? I don't like the Niners.
Just real quick, the Niners.
Okay.
They hired your boy Chip Kelly and Chip Kelly.
Yes.
They kept them for a year.
Yes.
Gone.
Mm-hmm.
They had Tom Sula.
Yeah,
For a year.
that guy's great.
Gone.
Oh, that's
Right? Sure.
yeah.
But you had Harbaugh for what, 4?
Yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Obviously that fizzled out because of, contracting and some other stuff went on there.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, I don't understand how subpar NFL teams or professional sports teams expect to get any better when they get rid of decent to above average coaches. They keep swapping out the system every other year.
Decent and above average.
Your winning record.
So if you're 8-8,
Yep.
so I guess
average.
it's the age-old question people always ask: would you rather, as a sports fan, So what's your NFL team? Cowboys, right?
Absolutely.
We are. I mean, every August 8th is Jason Garrett Day because we're 8-8, right?
Right.
So would you rather be 8-8 in the middle of the pack for 10 years, knowing that you're not good enough to go to the playoffs or Super Bowl, but not quite bad enough to get like a really good draft pick or a good player out of college? Or would you rather say, screw it, let's be bad for 2 years, let's bank some draft picks, let's get some talent in here, and then let's move forward?
The latter.
So for coaches who are in that 8-8 like purgatory, like I get why you say, okay, clearly the team isn't getting the message here. There's something that needs to change. We're not getting over the hump. Maybe it's either time to tear this thing down and rebuild, and let's do that with a new coach, a new mindset. Let's just start this thing from scratch. Or, hey, I think we're better than 8-8, and we're not getting what we need out of Pagano or Caldwell or whoever. Let's bring somebody else in and see if that person has the spark.
Yeah, I mean, I like what you said there.
Thank
a
you.
lot of good stuff. I like and I agree with the whole idea of, we need some new blood in here. We need some new motivation. We need some new people in office or, coaching stuff. I get that.
Yeah.
Who's the Bengals head coach?
Marvin Lewis.
Why is he still the head coach?
I heard this on the radio today. The theory being that he has a good relationship with the owner and they don't want to make changes. Now, I know where you're going to go. Should he be the coach still? Probably not. He would be a prime candidate.
Yeah, I mean, I have a good relationship with the Schwann's truck driver.
Okay.
Does that mean I should hire him to babysit my kids?
No.
Exactly.
Well, listen, when you have kids, bro, good child care. You take it where you get it at.
Sure.
That's all I'm going to say.
The Schwann's guy's that guy for me?
He might not be.
Sure. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He's lost in the first round of the playoffs, I think, every year that they've even made the playoffs.
The Schwann's guy? Who are we talking about now?
It might be the Schwann's guy.
Okay.
You know what? But Bengals, hire the Schwann's guy.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Schwann's guy's available?
Yeah, so Marvin Lewis made the playoffs last year, I believe, right? Lost in the first round.
Is that right?
I think they did make it last year.
I mean,
Either
you
way,
keep asking me questions without stuff I can fact check. I'll check that for
Either
you.
way, I'm pretty sure that they've never advanced past the first round in his tenure, if
That's
I can recall.
probably correct.
He's long overdue to be terminated, probably.
Yes.
Now, flip that coin, you got a Mike Tomlin, who, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken, he does have 2 Super Bowls, no? Both with Big Ben?
Mike Tomlin does have 2 Super Bowls, yes.
So he had some early on success with Big Ben, as did Big Ben. And over the last, 10 plus years, they haven't really had that success. But do you keep a guy in role who had some early success, but now found himself, not 8-8, but making the playoffs, advancing, but just not getting over that hump? Is he still your guy? And why is it always in football? Because the college basketball coaches could have an abysmal season.
Well, to be fair, NBA coaches get fired after like a 3-10 start.
Sure.
David Fizdale, Bernie Bickerstaff, where you at? Looks like Marvin Lewis is 0-7 in the playoffs. All losses coming in the wild card round.
There you go.
If I have that right.
Yeah. So you mean to tell me that's our guy? We're hanging on to him?
No, I don't. No,
He's
Marvin
got a great
Lewis,
relationship with the Schwann's guy, so we're going to keep him.
Congratulations, you found the one outlier in this whole argument.
I got all day, baby.
You found the outliers. Marvin Lewis Marvin Lewis and Jason Garrett are the 2 outliers that on paper you look at them and go, should they really be the coach when they're not getting fired, but coaches who are probably a little bit better or have had better records or more success are getting fired from their organizations. But the 2 things those 2 organizations have in common is crazy people run both of them.
Sure. Let me switch it up then. Mike McCarthy.
Okay.
Again, early success. I believe he is the coach that won the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. There's only one Super Bowl.
That's correct. Yes.
So that was what 6, 7, 8, something around there.
I want to say it was like 2010.
Nah, that's wrong. I'm gonna say 08.
Thanks for giving me a prep on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's wrong. I'm going to say 08, so I'm going to say it's been at least 10 years. So same thing. We keeping this guy. How long are we going to keep this guy around? He's not doing anything for us.
Fair.
So does he get a free pass because Aaron Rodgers was hurt last year? And how many free passes are we passing out?
Packers won the Super Bowl in the 2010-2011 season.
That's what I said.
Yeah. So I guess I'm a little confused. What are we advocating for? So what you're saying is either you've got 2 arguments going here. So let's chase them both down.
Yeah.
So your first argument is that coaches who are just starting out should be given more of a leash, right? I.e., your Chuck Pagano. Apparently, the Chuck Pagano's the hill you're going to die on, but Chuck Pagano.
Well, Hugh Jackson,
who
was the Raiders coach for
got bounced.
2 years.
Again, crazy organization.
Sure.
Crazy.
But they had a decent team. They had pieces.
Yes.
They got rid of him quick.
Yes.
Everybody loves Hugh Jackson. All the players. He's very well liked in the NFL circles.
A lot of circles.
Obviously, he goes 0-16 with the Browns last year. Was that his first year or second year?
First, I believe.
Okay, so he went 0-16, so sure. All you could do is go up from 0-16, so obviously they're going to give him another year.
So 1-1, baby. He's up.
0-1, baby.
Best record since 2004.
So let's say they win, 7 games this year.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a 700% increase from last year.
Yes.
Does he keep his job?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say then next year, then they go 3
It's all
and
about
13.
expectations, though, dude.
Why would you set him so low?
Because you were 0-16. Where do you want them to be set at?
You're a grown
It's
man
all about
in
expectations.
the NFL.
So it is basically you want a standard of you are a coach and you don't win 10 games that year, you're fired the next year?
No, it's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, so I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I like what you're saying.
Thank you.
But what I'm saying
Okay.
is if we're going to bring these guys in,
Yeah.
and they're supposed to change the culture, and they're supposed to come in with a new vibe, new attitude, new system, everything, and you give them 1 year, how's that supposed to work? Now, granted, do I think Chip Kelly was going to work in San Francisco? No, I don't. But why hire the guy if you're just going to get rid of him after a year?
Yeah, I mean,
then to counteract my own argument, I'm going to cut you off there.
all right.
Why are we keeping Garrett on the Cowboys?
He should be gone.
Should have been
the
gone.
Chip Kelly thing though is there are some dynamics that come to play here in that he wasn't hired by the GM who then took over.
Sure.
So I do think in some situations when management changes, they do make changes on their personnel, right? New
Fair.
manager comes in, he wants new personnel.
Fair.
I don't disagree that there's a shorter leash on coaches these days, and there seem to be a few sacred cows who continue to get or stay employed that maybe shouldn't be. That if in today's climate, if Mike McCarthy started off with Aaron Rodgers and went 6-10, 6-10, 7-9, he'd be fired by year 4. Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. But that's just a climate we're in a need it now society, right? We're an instant gratification society that if you don't win now, you're screwed.
So I'm going to report this live on the Guys Like Us podcast, episode 9.
It's live when you
We've
hear
got
it, by the way.
7 new head coaches.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that at least 3 of the 7 will only get 2 years at their current job.
Oh man. Okay. No one's gonna check this tape. I'm gonna need.
Oh,
you to
I'm
write
going
that
back,
down.
baby.
Okay. I'm gonna
No,
need
I'm
you to write
going
that
back.
down. Okay.
I'm back. I'm archives.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to write that down. That's a good hot take. Speaking of hot takes, we're running a little long,
We're always long.
so let's cover really quickly. Touchdown Tayton
Sure.
has texted in his picks. He regrets that he couldn't join us here again this evening.
Sure he
So
does.
if you're scoring for Touchdown Tayton, he went 2-1 last week. He's now 3-3 on the year.
Yep.
500, baby. So Touchdown Tayton this week, he wants you to take Maryland minus the 15 versus Temple. Temple's dog trash. So
Sure.
fair point by Tayton. Here's where it gets a little squirrely. I don't know if I agree with this one. This is upset special. Do we give him 2 points for this, by the way? Well,
No.
Look
He
at the
gets 3
bylaws.
games.
He wants Hawaii +6 traveling to Army. That is
I don't like that.
That's a Mondo cross country flight.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's his upset special. And then probably a bit of a
Real quick. Who was that guy from Hawaii back in the day that threw like 8 million touchdowns?
Cole Brennan, baby.
Is he still there?
God no.
Yeah, then I'll take Navy.
Or Timmy Chang. He was behind him.
I don't
You know
think
that.
it was Timmy
It was
Chang.
Timmy Chang. Check it up.
Yeah, I'm saying it. Sure. I'll take Army.
And then it may be a homer pick. I'm not sure. Tayton's from Missouri, but I don't think he roots for Missouri. But he wants to take Mizzou -6 at Purdue. Purdue just lost to Eastern Michigan, so they appear to be on the trash side. So Touchdown Tayton wants you to take Maryland, Hawaii, and Mizzou for this weekend's games.
I mean, I'll give him 2 out of the 3.
What are you not giving him?
I can't give him Hawaii.
That's his upset special. That's why I'm
Yeah.
saying, does he get an extra?
He's upset.
He might
And
be
he's
upset.
gonna be upset.
That's why he wants to know if he gets extra
No
for that.
extras.
Okay.
No extras.
Okay. And then you had some NFL picks you want to give out.
Yeah, I
to
got
the-
some
to
quick
the
ones
audience.
for the audience if they want to win some money. I'll try to remember here off the top of my head. I went Giants +3
Okay.
over our beloved Cowboys.
I would all day take that all day.
I went New England Patriots -1.5 to cover against the Jags.
Okay.
And I went the Seattle Seahawks +3 in Chicago as the underdog. So we
Okay.
got 2 underdogs, and then the Patriots to cover 1.5 against the Jags, which I think, especially if Fournette doesn't play,
Yeah.
I think they can easily cover that.
If you've lasted this long on the podcast, you're so paid.
You're paid.
Because Burbs is going to make you some money. Touchdown Tayton just made you some money. Really quickly, Timmy Chang in 2004, that dude threw 38 touchdown passes.
Okay, great. Where is he now?
117 for his career.
You know what they should do?
What should they do?
Give him an NFL coach job.
Okay, I'll take him on the Cowboys. He's actually the receivers coach, oddly enough, at Nevada. They're actually pretty good. He did have a cup of coffee in the NFL. Looks like he played on the practice squad for the Cardinals, Lions, and Eagles.
Yeah, so did you, though.
I don't like to talk about that. That was a painful time. Speaking of painful times in my life, by the way,
Right.
really quickly, There's a baseball player who's blessed enough to have my name.
Yeah,
Adam Eaton is his name.
Yeah. I think I put you on to what you're going to talk about.
You did, and so
Yeah.
we will send this out to the 184 of you who follow us on Instagram, but we'd like to have that number higher.
Let me see if we're up there.
It's not. I just checked. My guy Adam Eaton slid into second base last night on his face,
good
which,
slide.
if you're not familiar with baseball, is actually not the way you want to slide into second base.
No.
You're gonna want to avoid sliding on your face. We'll send that picture out. I'm gonna see if I can get Adam Eaton on the show. It's not gonna happen, frankly, by the way. But we're gonna put some requests. The requests are coming in. They're coming in. They're coming in. They're definitely coming in.
They're coming in.
And that's a good stuff. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to sit tight for a second for us. We're going to play some music for you here next. And then after the break, you're going to get to hear from one of my favorite dudes of all time. You're going to love this dude. He's going to just talk to you about everything from buses to WADs to the Grove and Old Miss, Kevin Willis, and LA Gear Catapult. So sit tight. You're going to want to hear this interview next. Listen to this music, and we're going to entertain the heck out of you coming up. All right, so before we bring in our special guest, I do want to talk to our audience today about our new sponsor, Audible. So for you, the listeners of the Guys Like Us podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. That's right, free audiobook and a free 30-day trial. I've been on the site. I've been looking at some books. I'm a big reader, Burbs. There's a book out there that I've read. I don't know if you've read this one. It's called The Subtle Art of not giving a bleep, an F, if you will.
Yep.
Have you had a chance to check that one out?
I've actually checked that out. That's actually a really good book. So I'll give you kudos for that call out. That's actually a quality book.
So you're going to want to check that out. Again, for the listeners of the Guys Like Us podcast, Audible's offering that free download. So you're going to check that out. It's real simple. All you need to do is go to www.audibletrial.com/the Guys Like Us. They have over 180,000 titles to choose from. You're going to want to get on there now, get in there, get some books, get The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Bleep, or one of the other 1,799 titles I have available. Audible.com/the Guys Like Us. All right, guys, we are back on the Guys Like Us podcast. We have a special treat for you. So this is, Eddie, this is our first ever guest. So the first time we've had to wear out the Guys Like Us hotline. Side note, we need a better name for this thing because that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the first iteration of the hotline usage.
Yeah, and so on the line, I'm really excited about this guy. So I've known this guy, oh man, it's going to be like 33, 34 years now. And that's not what we brought him on because, that's cool within itself, and that's probably a reason to talk to somebody. But this guy actually has one of the interesting gigs out there, and I think a lot of sports fans will enjoy it too. So part of the ethos of the Guys Like Us podcast, Burbs looked that up later, is we want to bring on interesting people who do interesting things. And so I'm going to welcome into the show my guy. I call him Matt Pohl. He calls himself Matt the Bus Driver. You can call him really whatever you want. He answers to pretty much anything. But Matt is a bus driver, and he has the distinct honor of working on one of the most iconic college shows out there. So I'm going to let him tell you more about that first. But I'm going to bring in my guy Matt Pohl, who's joining us here on the show. Matt, how are you today, Foot?
Man, I'm doing real good today, Adam. Eddie, thanks for having me on. So I am the bus driver for the SEC Network's show, the SEC Nation. So not to be mistaken with College Game Day, but the SEC's version, they would probably not appreciate that, but their version of a morning pregame show on Saturdays. So the SEC Nation bus driver.
Gotcha. Okay. And so let's get into that real quick. How does one end up with that gig? How did you end up there?
I would say I was in the wrong place at the right time about 3 times in my life, whereas I had to get my CDL. Then I had to trick somebody into let me drive a bus, even though I had no experience. And then lastly, in that said bus, I was at a Kroger in Atlanta, and some dude came up to me and started asking me all these questions and really kind of just annoying the hell out of me. And then the next thing you know, he says, and we do the ESPN buses. And I said, what did you just say? And he said, we have the account with ESPN for their buses. And I was like, all right. You got my attention now, buddy. What do I got to do? And it took us a little while for me to be able to get in with them having something available and me being available and vice versa. And ever since that, I started out driving the ABC primetime bus for 2 years, the Herb Street Musburger bus. And then I've been in this SEC bus. This will be my 5th season. So all 5 seasons of the show, I've been in the driver for it.
All right, so I'm gonna try to figure out the best way to ask you the question, but what the hell do you do? Like, what do you do once the bus gets to the city? What are you doing? What's your job look like?
Well, the first thing I do is I get into town on Wednesday nights and just get everything prepped and ready, clean, and then my boss calls on Thursday whenever it's time for me to pull in over there. Sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late, and I just pull in, park, power. And then I just kind of make sure it's almost like you're the concierge butler for everybody who comes in. It's for the talent. So it's like their lounge, meeting room, green room, makeup room, just a place for them to kind of just hang out and be out of the way and be cool because we're running around the Southeast and it's still in the 90s. Shoot, it's been real hot the last two weeks. So, just a place for them to hang out and be cool. So, just stuff like that.
So where are you right now? So obviously you're on the road. It's college football season. For those of you who don't have a calendar in front of you, where are you at right now?
This is week 3, and we are at probably my favorite stop on the SEC tour of these 14 schools. We're in Oxford, Mississippi at Ole Miss.
All right. Yeah, so Burbs has some things on that. Burbs,
what's that Ole Miss looking like?
Man, this is where you want to go, man. This is the spot with this is probably the most unique style of college football tailgating that I've ever seen. It's kind of a little bit more refined than some other places. But you got people, when it gets a little cooler, guys are wearing sport coats. Women are always wearing dresses. It doesn't matter what the temperature is. So it's just a little bit different.
Okay. Well, I mean, speaking of the game, Ole Miss, Bama. Bama, I'm sure they have your favorite, but them being the number 1 team in the nation. How do you feel how the game's going to go? You think Ole Miss has a chance? I
think that Ole Miss. We've done this game a couple times before, and I've actually had the pleasure of attending one or two of those games. And they always do a really nice job of being more competitive than Vegas thinks they might be. So yeah, I think they definitely do. And Alabama always has trouble with those dual threat quarterbacks, and that's what Tamu is. So
do you get to watch the game like on when the game's going on? Are you in the stadium? Are you like outside? Are you in the bus? Like where are you at when the actual game's being played?
So our show is usually 10 to 12 Eastern, so it'll be 9 to 11 this weekend. And, sometimes depending on where we're set up, they want me to get the heck out of the way because the bus is just taking up valuable space for, breaking the set down. So sometimes I hang out. If one of the guys is hanging out, one of the analyst is hanging out and he's going to go in the game, sometimes they make room for me to hang out and stay around a little longer. I'd say I probably end up inside about 2 to 3 of the games each year, each season. So don't always end up in the game, but we're always watching. We got 2 satellite dishes, so we can get 2 feeds on the bus. So we're all standing there watching both 2 games we can get on.
When you're inside, are we sideline? Is that where you're at? You like the chain gang?
No,
where are you at?
So we're always set up on campus, and sometimes we're set up at the stadium. Sometimes we have a presence on the sideline, but the bus is always outside of the stadium, obviously, unless we're at Jerry's World. That's probably the only place I fit inside the stadium. But
Jerry.
Outside the stadium, on the campus somewhere, trying to, just kind of having the stadium in the background and stuff like that.
Okay. So, we've got a robust list of questions here, but before we get into that, I want to touch base again on this whole Ole Miss being a little bit more competitive. So, the good folks at ESPN and a lot of lines here got Alabama minus 21.5. So, how do you feel about that, Matty?
I was looking at that earlier today, and I am no linesmith, but I was thinking that that's a lot of points for a home team. Now, granted, the number 1 team in the country's coming in, but I don't know. I just feel like Ole Miss always plays them a little bit tough, and that's 21 at home.
It's a little egregious.
If you forced me to make a pick, I'd probably take the points on this one.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
But then I also live by a firm creed of never betting against Saban or Belichick. So
it's my credo.
It's kind of contradictory.
Are there any other creeds, real quick, you want to share with us?
Not at this juncture. Okay. We'll just address them as they come up.
That's fair. No, that's fair. That's a fair ask. All right, so you talked about Ole Miss, obviously beautiful campus, good tailgate scene. What's the craziest thing you've seen? Imagine you get a lot of just debauchery running around the bus area. What kind of crazy stuff is Matt Pohl running into on any given Saturday?
Crazy. I think the craziest thing for me as a sports fan, like the first time I was in on the SEC, at the show 5 years ago, we started out on a Thursday at the South Carolina A&M game, and then we drove overnight with the crew, like the people on the show, the on-air talent, and then they got, the director and the producers and those guys. And we got to Auburn, and then we did a show in Auburn on Saturday. And I didn't get to see too much of the show because it was my first weekend at the Thursday stop in Columbia. But then I was there, taking everything in on Saturday morning. And when Tim Tebow came out of the bus to come onto the show, obviously the crowd's full of nothing but Auburn Tigers. And to see all of these people have a Beatles-esque response to him, I was really taken back by it because I expected that if we were in Gainesville or somewhere near the state of Florida. But to see all these fans of a guy that used to come into their, school, probably once or they probably played twice during his 4 years, just lose it over this guy. And they're all trying to get his autograph and take selfies and have him sign their Auburn jerseys. I was just really confused by what was happening that day.
That's fair. That's actually a cool story. So,
and that's continued to happen at every stop we've been at. So, it wasn't like a freak phenomenon. It's just I had never seen it before. And as a fan, you just expect him to be popular with people that are Gator fans and stuff of that like, but not every fan base and all over the SEC.
Well, so speaking of fans, obviously for the average Joe, not like Eddie and I who are just national podcast hosts, but for the average Joe, sports is like an outlet. It's like a release. It's what you do when you get home from work. It's what you do when you want to get away or whatever. How do you deal with, so now that you work in sports, do you like football less? Do you, like, when you're not on the game side, do you want to get away from it, or do you still kind of have your love for football and sports even though you have to sort of do it as a job?
No, I definitely get really excited for football season, and it's almost like I forget that I was, baseball season hasn't ended yet. And I really, to be completely honest with you, the best way to sum it up is I kind of feel like I'm getting away with bloody murder because I'm getting paid to be at this game that at least a couple of my buddies have spent a significant amount of money to be at and watch and be in that atmosphere, and I'm getting paid to be there. And it's like I'm experiencing it too, even though I'm not always in the game and stuff like that. But the atmosphere it's just like electric sometimes. So I got to pinch myself every Saturday and every summer when they call me to tell me, hey, we're doing it again. You're back. Everything's to go for this year. So I'm just blessed in that department.
Well, I mean, one other thing that football related that you might pinch yourself about is the start of the Willie Taggart era over there for your beloved Seminoles. So
Willie
for
T.
those of you who don't know, Matt is a proud Florida State alum.
Yep.
So congrats on Willie Taggart. That seems to be working out okay. Give me your assessment. 1-1.
I really kind of feel like we're more like 0-1-1.
I mean, I didn't want to say it, but that's fair.
But I was excited going into the season. I felt like he definitely. I thought that was a good hire. I thought that he would recruit well, and he and the players would be able to easily relate to him being. He's not from there, but he had so much success. Wasn't he at South Florida briefly?
Yeah, he did go to my arch nemesis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where, by the way, he had a losing record there, by the way, just FYI.
Well, it wasn't losing enough for Oregon, though.
That's fair.
That's fair, yeah.
Apparently losing enough for FSU, though.
Definitely. Apparently, and he's really shot out of a cannon this year. I looked at that first game and I was like, 7.5 points at Florida State was favored. I was like, oh, they must have forgot who Florida State is.
Yeah.
But it's an unfortunate start to the season. I didn't get to see too much of the game last week. It was a birthday weekend, if you know what I mean.
I do know that. Yeah. Happy birthday, by the way.
So thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm just gonna have to kind of expect. I gotta expect something to change between now and this third game. Wasn't the defensive coordinator from Michigan State bragging about how Florida State's got a lot of he's used to having a lot of good players at Michigan State, but they got some quote unquote dudes down there.
There were some dudes, yeah.
Well, he needs to get those dudes in the right spots on the field was what I think he needs to do.
Well, I got two. So since you're a self-proclaimed FSU insider, I have two questions for you I need answers to. So one,
I hope I got the answer. Yeah.
Willie Taggart seems to wear a whistle on the sideline during the game, which I don't know if you're going to need that. It's not practice hoss. And then two, what's with this backpack situation? You're getting roasted on the interwebs over this like turnover backpack or carry the bag or I don't know, the mule bag. I'm not sure what you call that thing. Can you give me any insight on those two?
I don't have the insight on the bag and the turn and all those different. They got the season mantra and whatnot. I'm not sure what Florida State's is this year, but I was just in South Carolina, and I actually kind of enjoyed South Carolina's. And I'm just going to say that to you guys. It was all gas, no brakes. And I just kind of like that one. I liked that one. I was like, man, this is great, man. Let's just get rid of the brakes in the whole vehicle and let's just gun it.
This is gonna.
Yeah, that's burp style.
When I think Will Muschamp,
wing it.
when I think Will Muschamp,
Yeah.
I think all gas. Yeah, you're right on.
Like,
All gas.
You think of Will Muschamp's up-tempo offense.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you think of his air raid offense and how they run 90 plays a game. I think about the same thing.
Well, real quick, so as an FSU guy, was Jimbo that bad? I mean, I know that the tenure, that
No,
Christmas.
I think he really just lost the
I
team.
mean, that Christmas tree went out early, but was he that bad a coach?
Well, I mean, aren't there only like 4 active coaches that have won the national championship?
I mean, we don't have a crack research staff here. That sounds right. I'll believe you real quick. So we got
I
Saban,
think it
Urban,
actually, Urban, yeah, and
Jimbo,
don't forget about Dabo.
Dabo, and
Those are some great names, huh?
Scott Frost at UCF, of course. But yeah,
Oh yeah, I forgot about the
Unofficial,
Astros
of course.
player.
Unofficial, of course.
Way to get that one in, buddy. I don't know. I mean, how can you not be? I was understanding of him leaving. He got the championship. He got 1 championship.
So,
You got a lot of guys. You got a lot of guys drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks.
that's fair.
I think he had. What do you have? 3?
What do you? Jameis. He had EJ.
What about
Ponder?
Ponder.
Yeah.
Ponder.
I mean, now to be
Yeah.
fair, I mean, 2 of those 3 have
I didn't
flamed.
say they did anything when
That's
they got
fair.
there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. And I think we're still jury's still out on the other guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is Jameis's last year in Tampa. That's just my hot take, my
Yeah.
bold prediction for the year.
I'm on board.
But so again, let me just clue the audience in. Burbs is just chomping over here with some questions for you. So let me clue the audience in who might not be following Matt and I closely throughout our entire lives, and I'm not sure why you weren't, by the way. So we've known each other a long time, grade school, high school. Played a lot of basketball growing up. Played a lot of RBI baseball on the Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
We go way back. So I had a chance. I mean, I would say, if I had to use an adjective to describe my ball game back in the day, the only thing I wrote down here was prolific. So I'm gonna stay with that right now. But I've had a chance to play with Burbs over the past year. For some reason, he seems to have a different opinion. So Paul, I'm gonna need to bring you in as a neutral arbiter right here. Burbs asked some questions about my game. I'm gonna let him just fire away at you, and you just go ahead and do what you do. Honesty, integrity, just being a swell guy that you are. Just give him the deets. Give him what he needs.
Yes, I mean, prolific again, very, very aggressive on the verbiage there. So yeah, what was Eaton's ball game like, basketball growing up?
I guess the best way to describe it would be like kind of like a pigeon, like a little bit of like kind of like a pigeon-toed line drive jump shot that the ball, the top of the arch of the ball never actually gets any higher than about an inch over the rim at its highest peak.
Sure.
And he shoots it. It's probably some side spin on it too. And he shoots it, and you can't believe you didn't block it, and then you're even more blown away that it went in.
Well, that brings me to my next question. Did you actually ever see a jumper go in?
Oh, I saw way more jumpers go in than I would like to give him credit for.
Wow.
Having played a lot, multiple games of one-on-one basketball a day from, I don't know what you think, like 5th grade to into high school.
Yeah, I mean, we were running Bayview courts for a while there, right? I mean, that had to be. We were into sophomores.
That doesn't say much. That doesn't say much for my game. My game's just max hustle guy. No real actual skill set.
Well, real quick, where's your game at these days? I mean, you've been out shooting, you've been out playing. Where's your game at?
I haven't played in a while. My knees getting a little tricky now. We're getting up to these years, and it's like if I got to wear all these braces and stuff like that, what am I really even doing out here?
Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess that answers the next question of what kind of game do you still have. So
right now, if I needed you on a 2-on-2, right?
I'm going to tell you what I could do.
All right, let me scouting report.
I could be disruptive on both offense and defense. I could probably stop us on both ends of the court. I can create a turnover, but then I'm gonna definitely turn it right back over.
Okay.
A lot of rebounding, offensive and defensively. Probably more offensively, more just me rebounding my misses.
Okay.
sure.
Pat the stats. That's fair.
And just not a lot of definitely passing up open jump shots from like the elbow of the key.
Okay. So not a great shooter these days.
Well, Adam, you could attest to that. Never was a great shooter.
Yeah, I mean, so Pole's patented we're talking one-handed runner, leg spread, tongue out, like all momentum towards the hoop, probably yelling something. I think he has a headband on pretty much all the time. I think he just
Definitely.
sleeps with it on.
Okay.
Misses it, gets the rebound. We're talking like 3 pump fake hezzies.
Yeah.
Misses another one, gets the board back out. No look pass behind his back to a cutting guy at the hoop who hopefully makes it. You know, shout out Alex Nunez. You were probably making a lot of those back in the day. That's probably Pole's game. It was 3 rebounds, 2 misses, and an assist all in one play.
Assist, yeah, or like just a kick out to Meyer way out there in the 3-point
Chippy
land.
Meyer was
All set up, yeah.
big out there. You're right, he's big.
He probably hoisted about 12 threes a game.
Well, he also, he shot 2-handed. Like the ball went 95 feet in the air. He was allergic to anything inside the 3-point. If they had 4s, he was shooting those.
Without a
That's
doubt.
kind of Burbs-esque almost. 12 threes a game.
Our
That's
guy,
volume.
our guy
That's
Burbs
volume.
here. He gets across half court and he's like behind the bag and he's just yelling game with jumpers. I mean, some of them actually went in sometime, but
that's like Teddy Dupay range.
yeah, wow.
Oh, wow.
We went Teddy Dupes.
Teddy
okay.
Dupes.
Okay. But so Matt, I remember this about you back in the day. So I wrote this down on the sheet here. Burbs actually had to question why it was on here. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have you down as probably the president of the Kevin Willis needs to be in the Hall of Fame fan club. Am I wrong on that?
Ah, man, I was thinking about this when you mentioned it to me earlier the other day. Did he play for 20 years?
He's still playing
I feel
now.
like he
I think.
played for 20 years.
I think he's on the Grizzlies. He's the 11th man on the Grizzlies right now. Yeah,
we might need to get you guys like just a dude to chime in and like look things up real quick.
I need dudes.
I was thinking about looking it up, but his back to the basket, low post, like hard brick pass out to the guy on the 3-point line. I think that kept him in the league for definitely in high end of the teens.
I mean, that dude had the touch of a truck driver. He had the shoulders that looked like cinder blocks, but
he was built. Didn't he go on to have a career in wrestling? Wasn't he Booker T after he finished playing hoops?
we're researching that right now. I remember
I think
not
he just
true.
grew his hair out and he became Booker T. I'm pretty sure that's the same guy. Check the build.
Well, check it. I remember our friendship almost ended when the Heat traded Steve Smith for him, and you were like, "Sweet, we got Kevin Willis," and I was like, "Yo, we just gave up Steve Smith." And I remember there were some tense moments for us back in the 6th, 7th, 8th grade, where the hell we were at that point when that Steve Smith for Kevin Willis trade went down.
So let me give you some numbers.
We got numbers.
All right, let's look it up.
So this dude started his career the year I was born. So 84, 85 season. I was born in 85.
Okay.
I feel like he was from like Georgia Tech.
I think that's right. That's John Sally.
Integrity check here. This does not say.
Yeah. Research is not his strong suit.
All
right.
NBA in 91 and 92 though. One
year.
time
I could-
All-Star.
One-time All-Star. Okay.
So Matt, if you had to put a career numbers on points and rebounds per game, what do you think they'd be?
I'm thinking like 17 and 10.
Wow. Yeah, you're a little egregious. We're gonna go 12
Is
and
that
8.
a little rich?
That's a little rich. Yeah, 12 and 8. 12 and 8.
12 and 8.
Yeah, so
That was a
12.1.
double, man, career.
Yeah, I'll give it to him.
Almost double-double.
Yeah, from a double standpoint, he's there. So again, started 84, 85, retired in 06, 07.
Miles. Yeah.
So
So
he
what's
started.
that, 12? 12 years? Oh, wait,
Hi, Matt.
06, 07. So he played for 20 years.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he started
Yeah.
his career at age 22, and he retired at age 44. So yeah, 20 plus years.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Look at these numbers
Guy
though:
played
82
for 20
games,
years.
82 games, 81, 75,
Yeah.
81, 80, 81,
basically
80,
an
80.
iron horse.
Just all horse. 94 got squirrely, only 2 games, probably injury.
Yeah.
I mean, those aren't DMPs. I mean, that had to be injury.
Yeah, those
Probably couldn't find the right size elbow pads.
That's true.
That's fair. He's still wearing those right now.
Yeah.
He was definitely padded up with those elbows.
He needed it.
Clearing a
some
little
pads.
bit of real estate down there in the paint.
So yeah, you guys are way off on the college. Michigan State.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, way off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so drafted 11th overall in the first round in '84 by none other than your Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know we were going to turn it the official Kevin Willis podcast, but I mean, I think it's needed. I mean, there's a void in the space, and I'm here to fill it for you guys.
Well,
So,
dude, the guy played for 20 years.
22 apparently. So, was he your favorite player growing up, Paul? I thought I remember you having an affinity for one guy in particular. Who was your favorite NBA guy?
My guy. Well, from my recollection, this might not have been the guy that you recollect, but I was trying to patent my game a little bit after Vinny Del Negro.
I remember you loved Del Negro. That was it.
Del Negro, because he'd have that slasher from like the elbow of the 3-point line, and he would just cut hard and just float one up. His went in, mine didn't so much, but old number 15 on the Spurs.
Yeah, that was your guy. I remember the two guys you loved. I know you loved Del Negro. I remember you being a Rodman guy too.
Oh yeah, I those are my guys, man. Rodman. I mean.
So I mean, this makes sense. This makes sense. All hustle, all the time.
So if you picture Matt's game as a cross between Vinny Del Negro and Dennis Rodman with a little bit of Kevin Willis aspiration to it, that's what you get.
Yeah. Okay. But just a poor man's version of all those people.
Matt, you ever throw him down back in the day? You ever throwing him down in the orange?
I made my grandfather come down to Bayview Park one day, and I was like, Pop, I'm dunking him right now, but nobody's at the court to see it. So he's technically still alive.
Okay.
So
Shouts out.
we have to get him on here. I could dunk for about 6 months.
Eaton?
Right when we graduated high school, and when I was still at home that summer I was going to FAU that first year, and I was playing like every day at Bayview at 3:00. And for about 6 months I could put him down one-handed. I had to be moving towards I wasn't like just drop stepping slamming them down. But
of course, no. Of course
I mean, Adam and I are both. I'm only going 6 feet. What are you going, Adam? 6 feet?
I'm 6 feet. Yeah. I mean, I'm all traps and triceps. But hold on, your grandfather's technically alive.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Okay.
I mean, you might not remember that. But.
Okay. All right, that's fair. That's fair. And the other thing I remember about you too, you had a pretty. So Matt was the kind of guy, just to explain to the audience and to you, Burbs. Matt was one of the guys I would say he wasn't always into the mainstream, right? Okay. So the hot thing was out. Paul was always like, "Hey, that's cool. I've seen the hot thing, but like, what's else out there?" He was more of a retro guy. I recall, Paul, you had a pretty good affinity for some retro sneakers back in the day, some retro kicks.
Oh yeah.
If I gave you unlimited budget right now and you could go buy like 2 or 3 pairs of retro kicks, what are you buying?
If I had money and I could buy whatever I wanted, I would definitely go get something like what Dominique had on, those pumps.
Okay.
Something like that, but I want like original style colors. I don't want those like nonsensical like purple and green ones. I want like something like black and white, like what he would have worn in the game when he did that dunk contest, and he was like, they had just come out with a shoe, and for his last dunk, he went over there and he pumped it up a little bit, and he went over and did something freaky. Boom.
Yeah.
I'd probably go that route.
I recall you were the first guy, I think the only guy that I can recall, and again, I may have this backwards, so correct me if I'm wrong. I could have sworn you had the Grant Hill Filas. Am I wrong on that?
No, I didn't have.
Okay.
I don't think I had. I didn't even know Grant Hill was ever sponsored by Fila. I remember that you had the when Karl Malone was sponsored and he had the catapults.
I'm sorry, what?
La Gear, La Gear.
Oh, LA Gears,
look them up. Who made those? Did Converse make them?
No,
LA Gear.
LA Gear.
LA Gear.
Oh, LA Gear made them. Yeah. So Adam had those. We had about the same size shoes. So you would actually you'd have a couple nice pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
And once in a while, you let me slip in the catapults.
Yeah.
And they were like they advertised them as having like more spring in the heel.
Yeah.
There was the commercial. It was like a fake spring in there. I'm sure there was no spring.
Eaton's got the built-in spring though.
I didn't need it.
Yeah.
I didn't. I mean, I lent it to Paul. I didn't need it. He just wanted to have it.
So the Karl Malone catapults.
Wow. Okay. I wonder if we can get our hands on those. We need to get somebody on those.
We need to get an image of those.
What about the Shaquille O'Neal kamikazes?
I just thought they only came in size 22.
22 Triple E.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. Any other retro shoe that you were rocking back in the day you remember?
Nothing nice. I think I had remember our uniforms were blue and white, and I think my mom got me like a pair of red Chuck Tees, and I was just like, what am I supposed to do with these, Mom?
That's fair.
Against the grain.
He was always against the grain. That's kind of how you'd some pull up in a heartbeat.
Well, I thought even the red was a little bit much. Well, red, white, and blue though. I was probably a little foreshadowing of me, the future me.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. The future me.
All right. So I mean, real quick, I'm gonna get one more in. So we talked about Kevin Willis. That was your dude. Aside from Kevin Willis, who was your favorite player growing up? Besides Vinny and Kevin Willis.
Probably the hybrid that Adam created, or that you guys were creating in your head of like the Dennis Rodman. I definitely liked, even though I wasn't a Knicks fan, I liked Oakley. I liked Oakley. I liked the concept of Gerald Wilkins, but Gerald Wilkins was never actually Gerald. That wasn't like. He never actually was the Jordan stopper, but it was a nice idea.
The concept.
It was a good idea.
Yeah.
It was a fair idea. Were you not a Harold Miner fan, or I have that wrong?
I was never a big Baby Jordan fan.
Okay.
I don't know. The guys that I liked on the Heat, I don't know, man. I was just always like, really, this is the best they can do. This
fair.
lineup: Vernon, Bimbo Coles,
Yeah, Bimbo Coles. Yeah.
Douglas,
Yeah.
Willie Burton,
Willie B.
Lynn Rice.
Willie B went for 61 one night. Check that stat. That's real.
I started really liking the Heat when Pat Riley got there. And he started pulling those shady trade deals
Yeah.
when he was just robbing like the good players and trading just Billy Owens to everybody.
Yeah. How many times did Chris Gatling get traded? By the way, did he get traded again recently?
I really like Gatling.
Okay.
I like Gatling. I like fours that can bang and rebound and don't need to have they don't care if they score 4 points or 12 points.
Yeah.
But they're just banging all day long down.
So I was just gonna say he's all fours.
Yeah.
All muscle, all traps.
Yeah.
Just all
Yeah.
hustle.
Who's
all day
that?
long.
Who's that guy for you right now? Who's your current favorite four?
Oh man,
Because there's not a lot out there banging. Now they're taking the
not a lot of
Jays.
fours
They're
out there that
3
are
and
doing
D.
stuff.
I got one
I'm
for
not.
him.
Man. Who
What
do I
ab-
like?
what about-
I know who my guy now, unequivocally, is Russell Westbrook.
Oh,
He's a 4 and a 1 body.
He's the best athlete on the court.
I don't disagree.
he plays
in the
angry.
bo-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that about him.
He's so furious, and he's just like, okay, this is all you're gonna. If this is all that Oklahoma City's gonna get me, I'm still gonna go out there and figure out how to win it, even with these other 4 dead bodies on the court.
A lot of corpses out there.
What about real quick?
Has one,
What
I
about?
like Chris Adams. I like him.
Okay. Well,
Steve,
Ozzy.
you mean Steven Adams?
Him too.
Steven Adams. Sorry about that.
Chris Adams also good.
Yeah. What about?
who's Chris Adams?
Isn't he like a singer?
We'll look him up. That's Brian Adams.
Brian
I
Adams.
think he might have been like a wide receiver for Nevada.
Rando, I'll check
We
that.
don't-
Yeah,
we don't have. No, let's
We'll
just
get
not-
the
let's not check that.
astute integrity checkers.
I don't
on
think. I don't think anybody cares other than maybe Chris Adams.
That's fair.
that. What about like circa 2000, 2001, 2002? Kenyon Martin.
Wait, I just had another one pop in my head. I liked Kenny Martin. Bill Lambier was
Yeah, I
probably
know,
my
yeah.
model.
I
Was
mean-
that what you're trying to? Were you teeing me up for that one?
No, but I remember you shooting like Lambier. You had the ball over your head, like in that
Oh,
little
I
like
might
cock
have
position.
shot it from-
Offense.
I might have shot it from 3-point land, but I'd had a lot of real estate to cover to go get that rebound.
I don't know if you guys remember. It was either Bill Lambier to Parrish or Parrish to Lambier. One of them just went up to the other person and punched him directly in the face.
Parrish punched Lambier. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
got called for a common foul.
Yeah, that's fair. That was fine.
I
That's
don't
when
understand
basketball
why
was
the
real.
NBA doesn't play like that anymore. That's how and they figured they police themselves on the court.
It did back in the day.
Yeah.
I liked Kenyon Martin when he was at Cincinnati, and he was pretty explosive until he broke his leg. That was in college, right?
Yeah, but I mean, when he came back with the Nets with J Kidd, I mean, he was flying through the air like Adam Eaton.
Yeah, he was. But then again, another guy with like no offensive skill set.
That's also true.
That's fair.
That's also true. I can't believe you're not like a Zach Randolph fan right now?
Little Zebo.
Zebo. I like Zebo's game a little bit just because he's like the underdog and nobody really likes him. You know, he kind of creates a little space with his rear end.
A little space?
A lot of space.
A lot of space?
There it is.
A lot of space. All right, dude. Well, listen, we could talk retro NBA guys with you all day long here.
Yeah,
but I certainly.
Next
yeah.
time you guys have me on, maybe a baseball team, we should talk RBI baseball like one. Those like.
You talking? I'm sorry. You're talking the
All-Star-
original one with like the Cartman characters? Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was our thing, man.
Yeah, with all the puffy
Yeah.
guy. Well, they only had the 8 teams and then the 2 All-Star teams, and they couldn't fit the amount of letters in there to call the guys by their names.
That's true. Yeah.
What about this? Did
McWhirr.
you guys ever get back on this or down on this back in the day? Bases loaded.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
Oh,
it,
yeah.
it was too technical for us. So RBA baseball was like 4 fat guys. And if you knew any better, you knew that Boston had Tony Armas on the bench with 43 homers,
yeah.
so you subbed him in for the second baseman and just
it
hope for the
was
best. Yeah.
It was simple. You either played by you're allowed to throw anything, or you had to throw a strike. And if you didn't throw a strike, then you had to throw the shot right down the middle.
Well, that knuckleball will get you. And I remember playing that game. I get you down 0-2, hit you with the knuckleball, and like that was like fighting words, because that knuckleball was deadly. It was deadly.
It was
yeah,
deadly.
you can't do anything about that.
You can't do anything about that. So all right, so we got Burbick is feverishly writing down a list of future topics for you. He's actually not because he doesn't do a lot of work around here, but RBA baseball, NBA retro guys, sneakers, we
Anything
got it all.
I can do throwback football, baseball, like active players that play. We don't have to talk just video games.
Okay.
Anything like that. Yeah, down the road, I'd love to.
All right. Well, so here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. We'll put this out. Paul, if you want someone to follow you on IG, you want to plug your Instagram, how they can keep tabs on you.
It's my Polipowski. That's my family's name before it got shortened before I was ever born. So it's Polipowski.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's a must follow from us here at the Guys Like Us. Polipowski on
get
Instagram.
you might end up with some behind the scenes FCC Nation photos and me just jumping off roofs into pools and stuff like that.
Okay,
wow.
Yeah, I did actually see that recently, but that was a pretty quality jump.
It was my birthday, man. I had all the little kids. I'm all fans. They need to see it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to hit you guys real quick with a curveball. Did you guys ever play the basketball game, Double Dribble?
Oh, of course. Get out of here.
Oh,
Of course.
Double Dribble.
Of course.
Yeah.
Making sure. Just making sure. Integrity check.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just making sure you're
Double
my guys.
Dribble is solid.
The
And
tip
don't
dunk
forget
on
about
that
it.
game, though. You remember the tip dunk on that game?
I mean,
You had to time it.
I lived it, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
But the tip
But
dunk
don't
on that
forget
game.
don't forget about arch rivals when you could punch the dude to get the steal.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
What about Barkley shut up and jam?
I don't know if I had that one. I had Jordan
I
versus
feel
Bird.
like the graphics on most of the other games were terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't good.
Like when you were still 8-bit, like any of the other basketball games were like just not even serviceable.
No. It was.
fair.
It was.
But
it
we're
was
really
booty.
going back there on those.
Yeah, it was booty.
I'm gonna put some stuff down.
Okay.
I'm gonna put some stuff.
All right, we're gonna get some
All right,
questions back, man. Listen, hey, we appreciate you joining. I know it's you're on you're actually in the Central Time Zone now, so it's
Central
late for
Time,
you,
yeah.
man. So we appreciate you hopping on with us here tonight on the Guys Like Us, man. Again, follow this guy on Instagram, Polipowski. You're gonna see some behind the scenes stuff. I don't know if do you still make cameos on any of the games, any of the
I
other
did.
shows?
They had me briefly holding a mic last week talking about the ice bath. The guys were I had to get the ice in there, get it down to temp for it was so cold. It was so hot at Columbia that the dudes jumped in an ice bath after the show. The on-air talent. So
Yeah. So
once in a blue moon, they throw a mic in my hand, and hopefully I don't swear.
All right, so then watch SEC Nation every Saturday morning. You might just see our guy out there doing something rando like that. He's gonna pop up wherever he needs to pop up. He's a triple threat kind of guy.
Keep your eyes peeled. I got a Burt Reynolds tribute mustache going right now. You can't miss me.
Okay,
Nice.
there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Matt
All right.
Pohl, we appreciate you
Take care,
joining,
guys.
man. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Have a good day.
All right, mercifully, this show has come to an end. We appreciate you hanging in there. This has been a bit of a long one. We know about long ones around here. And so we appreciate you for hanging in. I got to thank, I hope you guys enjoyed Matt Pohl. I mean, that guy is just entertaining AF. And
Good laughs.
Just a good dude. So, again, follow him on Instagram. He will keep you entertained for hours. Hey, look, a lot of good people help us on the show. I'm not going to name them because they don't help us that much. I will name our guy, Lyrics and Lubes. He does a lot for us with music. I do also want to send another shout out to our friends at Stylish Words for their help with the shirts and the bracelets. Super cool, and we appreciate you for helping us out. Again, we need your support, so get out there, Instagram, follow us, Facebook, follow us, download, subscribe, rate, review. All those good things are helpful for a podcast to grow. We're gonna check out some web exclusive YouTube stuff. By the time you hear this, it may or may not be available. Don't worry about it though. Go to the channel, hit subscribe. When it's there, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna see it, and you're gonna like it, and you're gonna listen to it, and you're gonna listen to this. We're gonna wrap this thing up now. I got Burbs here. I'm Adam. We're out. We'll talk to you next time. See you.
Peace.